All right, Shalom. Before I start, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha Korash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all elect Akim wa Akwath, learning and teaching in truth and sincerity. Another video through the Spirit. Your brother Malak from GMS Detroit. And I got this. We're going to be letting a couple minutes play from the Dallas brothers. They got to going in last night, prophesying, right? And one of the topics that the brothers get into, was Esau, Edom's philosophies, all right? The wine that the whore that rides the beast has made the world drunken with, the different facets to this man's rule, and one of them being his technology, all right? Esau, Edom's technology is a part of his wine, the tools that he uses to influence the people to live under the rule of the beast, all right? And that technology has done major damage to the minds and the spirits of the people of the earth. And we're actually going to get something, that happened recently, if y'all brothers and sisters remember, in the news. Then also we're going to be taking a look at that term Black Mirror and what it means. All right, because coincidentally you have that show called Black Mirror, which, if you're in the truth, you should know about. You should have seen those episodes. But have you ever actually sat back and thought about what that term even means? All right, so with this, I'm going to let this play, but with this video, we're going to be looking at one of the key pieces of this man's wine, one of the key things that he used to get the world under his control, to make people believe and trust in him rather than to have the fear of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and his son, Yahweh Shai. All right, so let's play.
Jake is just walking around just blind, man. But like the priest said, when you come here, that's why Babylon is likened to those many wines, right? Those philosophies, that vibration, the way of life. There was a post, I'm sure one of you brothers may have saw it in the chat, where I think it was Bill Gates had given this, was a tribe of Amazon women, right? And I forgot where it was. And they gave them cell phones, right? These women had war paint, all this stuff on. And it fucked up their whole community, man. These women were sitting there all day watching porn. I mean, that's part of that wine, see? This is something they had never saw before. This right here is an idol. This is witchcraft. And they could not take their eyes off this, man. Well, all this is right, ultimately right. And that's what most people use it for,
And so what we're going to do, I'm going to go grab a clip to back the brother up. The tribe he's referring to is the Maruba tribe, if I'm pronouncing it right. I might be incorrectly pronouncing it. Some Jake down there in the Amazon who they were given, basically, internet and cell phones, and quite literally started developing addictions that is breaking down their society. And literally one of them is the Pinos. This guy, y'all, even when he isn't directly in your shit, he can still destroy you. His reach is far and wide. So let's actually start. But that is what was promised, that this man would do what? Let's get that out of Revelation real quick. Since this man has been down here on the earth, what has he been doing? Revelation 20. I'm going to start at verse 2. It says, "And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years." All right, this serpent being bound represents Esau, Edom, him going down in the time of the Dark Ages. All right, beginning between 300 and 400 AD and ending between 1300 and 1400 AD. All right, him getting pushed out, the collapse of the Western Roman Empire, him going into his lowly base estate. All right, the spirit that is in Esau is that same spirit that was in this man known as the serpent, all right, in the garden. Verse 3 says, "And cast him to the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loosed a little season." All right, so he was down for 1,000 years. He lost his power. He was no longer ruling the world. Our people got into positions of power. Niggas ruling in Rome, then you had the what do you call those guys? Not Moors. Byzantine Empire, right? Then the Moors come. But after that 1,000 years, what did Esau do? All right, we're going to jump verses because, as you should know, these verses are not congruent. After you read 3, you got to jump down to what? Verse 7. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the 4 quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. Right, so Esau, Edom, after the Dark Ages, he began what? The Renaissance period, the revival of his power structure under classical Greece and Rome, his antiquity. And since then, he's done nothing but spread his image, his language, his way of life, his immoral sexual practices, his witchcraft, his warfare, his idols, and his lies across the planet Earth since he's been loose. All right, ultimately it's going to result in World War III. That's why, Gog and Magog, all these things that he's done, is going to culminate in him being destroyed in this war that's coming. So now let's look at, because the brother mentioned that tribe, right? The scriptures told us he was going to deceive the world and the nations. What's one of the tools that he used? Technology.
And I've been reporting on the arrival of high-speed Starlink internet in remote indigenous villages in the Amazon rainforest. Myself and our photographer Victor Moriyama, we ended up hiking in total about 50 miles in order to reach villages of the Marubo people, which are an indigenous tribe that has lived for hundreds of years, if not longer. In one of the most isolated stretches of the Amazon rainforest, one of the striking things for me was to see this contrast between this old traditional way of life that the Marubos have had for many, many, many years, and this very new way of life that looks far more familiar to me, frankly. And that meant, seeing people hunched over on their phones, typing away, sending voice notes, watching, video clips. I saw 2 very young boys just, swiping through video after video of Neymar Jr. The Marubo are not a fully isolated tribe. Many of the Marubo actually already had smartphones, and then they were using them to communicate when they were in the city or to take photos in the forest. The Starlink antennas, they satellite in.
These bitches is taking selfies in the jungle, man. This shit is sick. This shit is sickening. They can't speak a lick of English, but they're doing the same shit. Little kids on the phone all day, women basking in their beauty, right, their glory. Everyone becoming sex geared and lazy. Come on now, y'all.
Internet service from SpaceX, the private space company owned by Elon Musk, arrived in the Marubo villages.
And now, the brother had mentioned Bill Gates, so apparently it looks like it was from Elon Musk, Starlink. But close enough, hey, they're homies. They both assist in destroying the Earth.
In September 2023. Right away, the internet was a huge hit, and people were on it all the time, so much that it became a problem for the hunting and the farming that are necessary for their way of life. And so what the Marubo leaders did is, nowadays, in almost all of the villages, the internet is only on for several hours in the morning, several hours in the evening, and then all day Sunday. The Marubo people saw all of the many benefits that the internet brought for them, and that included the ability to call for help in a medical emergency, the ability to communicate between different villages, inform themselves better about what's going on in the world.
And this is how Esau gets you. Yeah, certain of the things that he gives you do have little benefits. They are convenient. But is the trade-off worth it? Is the trade-off of being a fucking sex addict worth it? Is the trade-off of, having a warped reality of the relationship between a man and woman, is it worth it? Yeah, you can call for help now, but now your son's a gender bender. Is the trade-off worth it? No. And now this is why you get scriptures where it tells you the nations are mad. They have drunken of the wine and they're mad because the trade-off is not worth it when you let in the indoctrination of Esau, Edom, and his Western culture. These motherfuckers have to get up and hunt. They don't got time to be They don't got time to be jacking off at 9 in the morning. They don't have Walmart and cable. This shit is ridiculous.
But at the same time, I saw the Marubo people dealing with misinformation and scams, to pornography, to addictive social networks, to violent video games. The big difference here is that most of the world has had literally decades to kind of grapple with and debate what the internet means for society. And the Marubo people are dealing with all of this all at once. Leaders in the tribe also said that the more and more they're seeing the young people be on the internet, the more and more interest naturally there is about the outside world, and more interest about leaving the forest. And that is worrisome for the kind of elders in the tribe who are worried about the death of the culture and the traditions and the customs of the Marubo people.
Yep, and this is Esau's MO. Where do we see this play out in Scripture? And we'll go back to the brothers in Dallas. I'm gonna let the brother give some more of his sermon. This is what Esau does, y'all. He heaps unto himself all peoples. Let me get that. He lures you in, and now you're bugged out. Matter of fact, let me get the Maccabees first. I'm sorry. Because now you have those people getting addicted to that way of life, and they no longer want to maintain the culture that they're supposed to. This is how Esau accumulates power unto himself. Everyone assimilates to his way of life. This is how he did back then, and he's still doing it now. 2 Maccabees 4, showing you when he did it to us, the Israelites. 2 Maccabees 4, and we'll start at 13. It says, "Now such was the height of Greek fashions, and increase of heathenish manners, through the exceeding profaneness of Jason, that ungodly wretch and no high priest." Right. So you had a wicked Israelite named Jason, who, he being Hellenized himself, he encouraged and forced his people to be Hellenized, took them from their Hebrew customs and was constraining them to live after that of the Edomite Greeks. It says that the priest had no courage to serve anymore at the altar, so the Levites no longer wanted to serve in the temple, but despising the temple and neglecting the sacrifices, hastened to be partakers of the unlawful allowance in the place of exercise. After the game of discus, called them forth, not setting by the honor of their fathers, but liking the glory of the Grecians best of all. This is how Esau gets down, y'all. He lures you in with his ways of life. It's more free. It's more fun. You can come fuck all this. You can come eat that. You can wear this. You don't have to do that. Do whatever you want. And now you got a third arm growing out your back because you went and contracted super AIDS fucking around outside. All right, you see here that our people were lured away from Hebrew customs to live in the fashion of a heathen. This is how Esau gets down, and we're seeing it, happen to that Amazon tribe. We're seeing it in the world, which is why this war is about to happen. The nations are tired now. They're angry. So let's come back here. We'll get that Habakkuk in a second. Matter of fact, actually, no. I'll grab it now. I'm sorry, y'all. Then we'll come back because we're going to get into that Black Mirror subject next. Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yep. It says, "Yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be cannot be satisfied. But he gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people." That is how Esau Edom gets down. Okay? He wants to take over all things. And, it's going to be to no avail. So-called white man, he has rulership of the world, but it's not for too much longer. And when he's gone, it's going to be a glorious day, and it's going to be as if he never did it all. Nevertheless, in his mind, he doesn't give a damn. So he's been doing all this evil. Drop the phone, y'all. That was close. He's been doing all this evil to gain rulership over the world. And everybody is tired of it. So let me get one more. Alright, shalom, y'all. right here, Jeremiah 51. Right at it. I lost my train of thought a little bit, but we're good. Jeremiah 51, and the main point is verse 7. It says, Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, and hath a slocket that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Right, and so we're seeing what's some of that wine? The technology. All right, there's multifaceted. There's many parts to the wine of the fornication of Esau, Edom, right? The ways that he works on the minds of the people. But we see one of the big ones is technology. And these nations are sick of it. All right, the beast. That's why it tells you what, and the 10 heads which thou sawest upon the whore. The 10 heads which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, make her desolate, naked, eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. Revelation 17 and 16. They're tired of this shit, and we're tired of it too, and so we can't wait for it to occur. All right, so let's come back now.
But ultimately, this goes back to, like I said, that wine, man. All right, things that that Esau Edom pushes, which is the wicked, right, onto all the nations, man. These things are Babylon has an alluring spirit, a very wicked, alluring spirit that allures people to this place, whether by philosophy, whether by technology, right, whether by just coming here literally, right. This place was set up as an altar to be destroyed. All right, so this again is why the Lord is pouring out that water, all right, onto this dry ground, onto this place, because the time is up.
Revelation 17 and 6. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints, and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration.
Right.
And then the NLT it says, I stared at her in complete amazement. Because basically, like, again, to the I'll say uninitiated, but to the individual that, grew up outside of Babylon the Great influence, it's very enticing.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You got the strip clubs,
all you can eat.
Shit. Buffets. Like, you could basically, you don't ever have to go to sleep. Like, you can go like for example, New York. You know what I'm saying? What they say, the city that never sleeps. You can go to the store and get a bag of chips with high trans fat. You know what I'm saying? Saturated fats. It's sweet and salty. Like basically overstimulation. Coffee. McDonald's, tater tots, all that shit. It messes you up. But at the time, it boosts your
dopamine.
You know what I'm saying? To the point where it's like you constantly being stimulated to the point where it feels weird to not have that stimulation, and you start to crave it.
Right.
You see? And so when you see all of those, when John the Revelator seen, all this stuff, like how you see now, 1,000-foot buildings, the lights in them, they just playing, music in the, you know what I'm saying? All type of stuff that you can do in these times.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, damn.
Yeah, like you said, you don't have to go to these places. You whip out your phone and it gets delivered to your door. America is an addictive country, man. People here are addicts. All right, if you deprive an addict of something, they're gonna bug the fuck out, right? Deprive the people of some of just their normal shit here and watch how they act, right? Because they're overstimulated, so they become addicts in every way, where it be money, or it be drugs, or it be hell waiting at a light and someone's just gonna hurry. Social media, right?
Little kids with iPads, you take that away.
You see what I'm saying?
Like demons.
That's why it's easy to see, like, is how Esau's gonna cause the people to take their MOTB, which is the RFID signal. You see, once he takes away their comforts and puts the squeeze, you won't be able to eat unless you get this device. You won't have any money to take care of your family or survive if you don't take this device.
Right. It's all like it. It's all like it almost to drugs. Because once he starts to take away these teens, these things that are enjoyable, these things that cause stimuli, these dopamines from you, all right, and they say the only way you can get that, you got to do this. Watch how long that line is.
Right, so it's a setup for the mark. All right, and beginning with the video, the brother was looting, the brother was dealing with cell phone, right? So, you know, as he's holding it, literally, matter of fact, hang on. All right, y'all, so we're gonna, we got the word Black Mirror. What is a Black Mirror? Now, of course, the TV show is gonna pop up, but, you know, you scroll down. What is a Black Mirror historically? The peoples of ancient Mexico used polished obsidian mirrors, or texcatl, as instruments of divination. By gazing into a mirror's smoky depths, sorcerers travel to the world of gods and ancestors. Right, so quite literally, y'all, that's why, you know, that show, Black Mirror, when you, okay, if I turn off my phone right now, the screen, it'll go black. It'll shut off the video, so I'm not going to do it. But when the power is not being supplied to your phone on the screen, what color is your screen? Black. Is that by mistake? Is that by chance? Is that just no? Okay. These devices, whether you believe it or not or understand it or not, that's at scoffers, right? Brothers and sisters, y'all should know. These are little pieces of witchcraft in your hand. And in the kingdom, you best believe we're not going to have them. Now, it's nothing we can do about it now. And obviously, in today's world, you basically have to have a cell phone to fucking function. If we didn't have these cell phones, we wouldn't be able to get the word out. So we're not wicked for having them. But the point is that these things they were originally created for wickedness. And all Esau Edom has done is taken the ancient world witchcraft and modernized it, which is why you get scriptures in Ecclesiastes where it tells you what? There's nothing new under the sun. Okay, this man, hey, what's that one interview, that one insider, he would always say it? What they're doing is not prolific. They have a formula and they stick to it. All right, this is what a whistleblower referring to the elites. Esau Edom is not some super being. He has a formula of evil and he's been sticking to it for several thousands of years and using objects for sorcery, you know, something that he's been doing. So I just read the highlighted portion. I'm going to pick up right after. It says obsidian, which obsidian is black. Mirrors are an apt metaphor for images of ancient Mexican sites and objects. They reflect the viewer as well as the object. Right. So here it is. You're staring back at yourself in that black mirror. And what are people? Hey, man, that's crazy, man. That people's inner desires are what they look up, is what they get into. So let's say if you're a car person, right? I'm behind a car. You know, this nigga stepping on the engine, flying, he going crazy. You can probably hear him. The engine's so loud, right? All he cares about is cars. So whenever he turns on that phone, that's all he looks into is cars. Hell, his car is black. Now let's take a nigga that wants to rap. When he touches his black mirror, all he uses his little special black rock to conjure up is information about rap. And you can do this with anything. A food-loving motherfucker. They use their little piece of divination to look up food and related things. This is all a part of Esau's wine. The tools that he uses to pull you slowly, ever so surely into Babylon. Drunk you, make you drunk. And then when you wake up and look up, you're already gone. It's already too late. All right. You look at I saw something earlier from Reddit as well. Okay. Let me see. I could click on that, but I don't want to. This was just a bunch of people fucking debating the real Black Mirror. Here we go. Okay, right here. We only need a little portion out of this. I'm just proving it. This is something that, you know, some of y'all may have known, but I'm just proving it. So if you didn't know, you do know. And it wasn't just Northern Kingdom doing it. You had other nationalities of people doing it too. The heathen as well. It says black mirrors were used by Aztec priests to conjure visions and make prophecies. This one was brought to England in the early 16th century, courtesy of Cortez. Oh yeah, he was a demon. Hernan Cortez. When it came into the hands of John Dee, sage of the Elizabethan court. Right, so that's an ancient black mirror right there, y'all, literally. they would use these things for witchcraft. Let's see right here, jumping further down. Well, you wasn't talking to no angel, you was talking to demons. Well, left-hand angels. It says he used his black mirror to conjure visions, communicate with angels, and peer into the future. The magic side of his work was a fascination to Elizabeth, but it sullied Dee's name within and beyond the court. He was denounced as a conjurer of devils, perhaps a devil himself. Right. So you see the people who, this is traditionally witchcraft. And this is all a part of Edom's witchcraft. The shit ain't changed. It's just updated. All right. So that's really about it, y'all. I just wanted to, relay those two things, man. There's always, you can always, like the apostles started saying, in every lesson, there's 3 lessons. There's a lesson you can pull from the lesson, and then there's another lesson going on in the comment board. So that's about it. Let me give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone, peace, blessings, and salutations to all the Akim, Akwath, learning and teaching in truth and sincerity. Shalom.